3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
All right, 5 o'clock on a Friday. Let's do this. Let's hit the books. Part of the Hammer Betting Network, alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish, producer and landscaper extraordinaire, Zach Phillips. I am merely Brad Powers. Before we get on your questions, concerns, we talk best bets. We got a nice Moneyline parlay to give to you guys. Before we get to all of that, in case you've been living under a rock, maybe you didn't watch college football last week. You were one of the very few because the ratings were great. We have a new sponsor here at Hit the Books. It is none other than a little sports book by the name of FanDuel. You might have heard of them. And you can start off your college football season off with a win on FanDuel, because right now new customers can kick off the season with $200 in bonus bets. Just place any $5 bet and you'll get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. You can use your bets on spreads, live bets, totals, so much more. We love FanDuel. They've been a market leader this entire college football season, whether it was releasing win totals early, awards markets that we asked for. Obviously, they're first to market now, and what appears to be a weekly basis with the opening lines on games. What you can do is visit FanDuel.com/hitthebooks to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/hitthebooks. Disclaimer: must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with the Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued at non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-877-889-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE New York, or text HOPE New York in New York. Knish, how was your week, buddy?
Good week, busy week, but hey, that's the business we've chosen. Football season, so a little bit hectic, all things going. Little cross promo if you want to hear about the week in a life. Me and the Pizza Man did a Circles Off episode of kind of what we both do on a day-to-day basis during the football season. It's a real company man here. Also, apparently what I have to do now is get the schmucks behind the scenes on this show, on task here. So hopefully.
Well, if you were listening to Mr. Zach Phillips last week, he said he wasn't going to schedule until later, because for those of you that have been trying to get in questions early today, Zach said he was going to schedule it later because it's unfair to the people that are actually watching the show live. That all we do for an hour is, answer questions about people that are first in. Look, I'm a farmer, or, first come, first serve, but we spent the entire hour answering questions that were asked 2 hours before the show even started. So we're trying to get a healthy balance here. So if you were listening, Zach, he said that, man. Am I correct?
Well,
or am I living in another
to be listening to someone other than myself. So no, I did. I heard. Listen, I heard him. He's gonna open it later. So which I agree with, but not till no show promo till 2:00. Moretto's flying around the country, meeting some old friends, having drinks. I don't know where Horvat is. I might be living under a rock. It's the 6th Canada day of the year. He might have the day off. So. But I'm juiced up, ready to get into the week 2 card. Good week 1. Let's go, baby. Let's go back to back.
Yeah, we did have a good week 1. Week 0 left a little bit to be desired, but we rebounded like winners do. A few best bets, we'll talk about them that we've already given out: Central Michigan, Northern Illinois, Iowa State, Kansas State. A little money market doesn't like that. We'll get into that, and I'll give you some reasons why on that one. But let's just get right to the chat here. There we go. There's the best bets already. Look at that negative CLV on Kansas State.
Now we got one guy asking about something that's going to get me more fired up.
Here we go. Mickey Hill in the chat. He's first one. And we got a couple new members. Dylan, Charles Saul, new members. Keep in mind, if you're a member, you get priority as far as the questions being asked. Make sure you become a member. Make sure you're also hitting that like and subscribe button. Mickey Hill, though, longtime listener, longtime contributor. He caught it minus 16.5 on WVU on Sunday. Does he mean Virginia Tech?
He's got it. Yeah. Mean Virginia.
Yeah, I was going to say West Virginia is playing an FCS team, and that's a line. That's a great one. Trying for a middle opportunity with Marshall. Been waiting on a plus 21 that probably isn't coming. Do you feel like a middle play at plus 20.5 is sound? Depends. Do you originate numbers? What's your number on the game? If your number is 17, 18, sure, go for the middle. I wouldn't just go for the middle to do it. The only time I really do it is if I'm overextended on one side and I want to get off a little bit, or if my number's smack dab in the middle. And if I saw that, where the line is right now, if that was the opening line, I said, hey, I want to make that bet, then I make the bet. Do you concur?
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes I'll even, if I know a number is going to move, load up as much as I can on a position with the idea to, buy back some at a certain point. In that instance, though, I got to be honest with you. I'm pro Virginia. I'm not going to let even though losing to Vandy is, I'm not going to let the Vandy loss there detract me from still being semi-bullish on Virginia Tech. Vandy had a lot going in that game. They were fortunate. They had new offense that Virginia Tech wasn't ready for. And Virginia Tech in the first half, I don't know what the fuck they were doing on offense. And that second half, they were letting it fly, and they were able to get back in the game. I think you'll see more of that from the jump here versus a Marshall team that I don't think is very good. I don't love Braylon Braxton. I think for me, if it's me, and I have some similar position around there on Virginia Tech, I'm letting it fly.
I bet Marshall at a terrible number because I wasn't sure if Drones was playing. I didn't know the extent of his injury. Remember, he didn't play in overtime. So I was like, man, if he wasn't good enough to play for overtime, maybe he's questionable this week, but it was just cramps. 21, I would be betting Marshall, though. Just saying. I mean, I got to play numbers. John in the chat, any positions on Cal at Auburn? The homer in me says Auburn by 21. Yeah, I laid it with Auburn. Money did come in on Cal. And you got to follow them Friday moves.
Recently, yeah.
You got to respect the moves, I should say. But I it's a square bet, but I think Auburn smashes them.
What's the number at? Because this came when it was trending 13, 14. I was out.
12.5. I think you can find 12. I think I laid 10.5.
Some flat 12s around.
11.5's available. We can't take a point of the worst of it.
I agree. With that said, I think under 13 is. I played some 12 myself. So, and I know there was even a little lighter numbers earlier.
You want to lay it? Forget it. Let's just lay it. I mean, that all important key number of 12. Come on.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on the best bet.
Best bet right off the top. Auburn minus 12.5. I think the number should be the way it was trending towards 14 is what the number should be. So,
I agree with you. I think they're just Cal. If you dig into some of the UC, they probably should have lost to UC Davis. Digging into that score. And I think Auburn. I'm not going to go too crazy on the revenge look at last year or anything, but I think they're significantly improved this year on a lot of facets. And this should be a tough first road trip for Cal. One of many they've got this year.
Yeah, I mean, Auburn played a terrible FCS team last week, but I do believe that the passing game is improved this year. Yeah. The wide receiver room is better. Therefore, I am more inclined to be willing to lay points with this Auburn team if they're not one-dimensional and just running Peyton Thorne. So there we go. Congrats for those that tuned in right away. Best bet, Auburn. Crestman. Oh, my God, we got breaking news here. Congrats on the 5K subs.
Oh, baby.
Wow. That's big time.
5?
How many does forward progress have more?
I don't think so.
You sure? I think
there's only one.
They don't have live viewers. They must be pumping up those numbers.
Yeah. By Russian bots here, logging on to whatever we do. I might have to go get a tech guy somewhere in Asia to do this. So 6,600 forward folks.
But yet in the live shows we do double.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the live shows, the pod downloads. Come on, people. Let's get this. Let's get this over here. We can't have forward progress.
Yeah.
being
trying
to come at the flagship show for this station.
RW Fan 23, he's a subscriber. Thoughts on the double dipping on Clemson under 8.5 wins at plus money? Thoughts? I thought we gave out at 9.5, right?
We did give out 9.5. He's saying there's 8.5. I think like reposted 8.
But you said 8 and 4. You said it.
Here's the problem. And while I love our original position,
ACC sucks.
Yeah. And Florida State specifically sucks. So what was a game where I was chalking that up as another loss, at Florida State, now looks like, well, don't get me wrong. I still think by all means they can lose that game. But a game that I had them with confidence losing now is probably,
50-50.
Yeah, more of a coin flip there. So I wouldn't double dip, I think, but I wouldn't be surprised if they win 8 and 4 or 7 and 5. There was nothing outside of the defensive front that impressed me in any way versus Georgia. I think maybe the receiver position's a little better. What do you think of the Clemson App game?
App looks too easy.
What, too easy? Betting against Clemson's been too easy for 2 years.
They covered like their last 5 games of last season. Clemson did. Come on. I need a 17.5.
Okay.
Where's it at? 17?
Yeah, mostly 17. Zach, what do we got? Pull it up, baby. If you're not, doing swinging a hammer, 17 on the dot.
If you want to take it.
I bet a little bit, but I would. That would be the last buy point for me. I know last week, and this probably won't come out till game day. App State had some key contributors that were banged up and out and that stuff. So that's one pregame I'll be paying attention to closely.
This brings up a point. It's only week 2, but we had money late in the week come in on Clemson last week. We had money come in against App State last week. So sometimes I like to wait those out. Maybe get another data point to see what the market thinks. Guys that have a little bit bigger bankrolls than us. But I hear you. I could only bet App State, but I don't think it's a super high value. I think everybody's thinking that. Charles Saul in the chat, Bielema, Leipold thoughts. I bet Kansas. Enough said. You like Illinois?
No, I'm with you. I will say I thought Illinois looked more, and again, FCS team, yada yada. They did look more functional on offense than I thought they would. It was a very nice, dominant performance last week, kind of doing what they had to do. So that surprised me a bit. With that said, I still would be on the Kansas side of things because I agree. In terms of coaching mismatches, that's a significant gap.
Saw it last year on a Friday night. Just total coaching mismatch. Anthony in the chat with the 2 really low totals. So here we go. This will be
this is the one I was talking about.
Does a Duke Iowa State tease make any sense?
It did at some point in the past at FanDuel specifically. FanDuel was the book that used to give out 6-point plus 110 teasers on college football until some other folks in the industry decided to ruin that. Listen, teaser pricing. This is the biggest thing. Does your logic make sense on the surface? Yes. Teaser pricing, though, across the industry has gotten significantly worse and much worse for NFL, even worse for college, or not even also worse for college football, where the 6-point minus 110 teaser is mostly dead. Just
show's over. Gotta find a new market inefficiency.
Yeah. Dr. Wong is rolling over in his grave somewhere because there was a time when you could just, 6-point teaser waste the penthouse. Those days are over. So I would say no, unless you got some special pricing on teasers for college football somewhere that I'm not aware of. Unfortunately, I would say no.
Patrick in the chat, happy Friday, guys. How do we feel about Illinois this week? Are there any plus money lines? Well, we don't like Illinois. We just mentioned that. We will give you the money line parlay at the end.
Money line parlay's coming up. 3 or 4 last week. Got a little too greedy with.
We got 4 legs.
Give more.
I like one of them that might turn into a best bet. So we'll see.
How about that for a
Philip in the chat? Wazoo money line Texas Tech South Alabama, Moneyline, Ohio. Wake Forest, Moneyline, Virginia. Of the ones that are listed there, I like Washington State the best.
I would agree. Texas Tech, I think, pretty beat up.
Yeah, really banged up.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think there's easy. Is there easy travel from Lubbock to Pullman? There had to be a layover somewhere and a bus trip somewhere. So,
no, I'm with you. I'm with you. You want to go Washington State money line?
Yeah, let's do Washington State money line minus 111. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Let's do it.
Fire it up, baby. Yeah, I'm with you on
Best
Wazoo.
bet, Washington State money line.
Wazoo. So yeah, there's been some Texas Tech kind of.
Yeah, who is behind that?
I don't know. Which is never.
It ain't old BP. Old Tout Service is on Washington State. Dr. Bob's on Washington State. Washington State for me. Tech took a little bit of money today, though.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid. I'm not scared.
No.
Until I see like results, it's a different market, a different age every year. So I'll respect the moves more in a couple weeks more. I mean, you always respect moves, but I respect them more in a couple weeks from now than I do right now. Because I mean, there's constant. Tout takes this position, moves a point and a half. The Tout comes in and goes opposite. It's just crazy right now. Shawnee Sports, rather have a Michigan ticket or a Colorado ticket? At the current numbers, I would rather have a Michigan ticket. Speaking of key numbers, and key moves, I thought that was particular yesterday, the Michigan move, and I thought that was particular this morning, the Colorado move. I agree with both. I like both dogs in those games.
You're wearing the primes.
I like Colorado. I think Colorado's live.
Oh my.
Yeah.
It actually, I thought that maybe I saw it a little lower when for a minute there. No, maybe I thought I saw some 5.5, 6s, but I think they didn't bottom that low.
No.
I got to. I'm concerned, folks. I'm concerned that the local national champions in Ann Arbor. I mean, did I bet some 7? Yes,
I like that bet there. Give me 7.5.
Yeah, I understand. And the totals come way down. 7.5.
And you're scared. Mr. Over 9.5 wins is scared.
They sold me up a creek with the orgy stuff. I got sold the bill of goods that we were gonna have a functional quarterback, and that my man Jackie Tuttle was gonna be healthy this year. But we're a Jack Tuttle away from 11-1. I'll tell you that. But I don't know. I'm not. Listen, did I make a smaller position at 7.5? Yes, I like the under much better. Not anymore though. It's steamed down 7 points. So. You want to go head-to-head on Colorado, Nebraska?
No.
Oh,
not at the current number.
You just said they were live.
Yeah, they were, but I mean, I prefer them live at 7.5. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I mean, because I'm going to kind of root for them to lose. I know my luck. I need them to lose. So, no, I don't want to go head-to-head. But 7.5, that was I didn't bet it. I couldn't bet it. I don't know why. D. Lee in the chat. Brad, Mark. Oh, here we go. Market hates BYU. That's a pick for me.
Oh, yeah.
Hates Kansas State. Another pick by me. Any clue what's going on? Oregon Boise line's been pinballing thoughts. Well, I guess you should watch the Mr. Muscles podcast and the Tailgate Tent podcast for the BYU Kansas State opposition.
Yeah. I mean,
you want to speak live? I think BYU's still live. I'm not that concerned.
I listen. I was a little bit more against you on that move. I'm gonna have to see it from Tulane. I don't know. I thought 10 was that's the number. Again, both of them are in the range that would be out of interest to me. I think either way. I thought 10 was fine on if you're gonna play a Tulane under 10. Taking Kansas State. And the same thing now with SMU. It's kind of in that dead zone where you're going to have BYU buyers that if it touches 13, you had some SMU buyers at 9.5, 10. I don't have a strong take on either of those games, to be honest with you. I think that was just kind of a little bit of a numbers play, people playing numbers both ways. But you are, converting to Mormonism here with the BYU Live. So
I'm not buying SMU. Who they beat last year? Go look through it. They're getting so much respect. They didn't beat anybody. And as bad as BYU was last year, look at their last 2 games a year ago. Almost beat Oklahoma, almost beat Oklahoma State. So, all right, we'll see. We'll find out in a few hours. So, Mr. Muscles maybe puts me in a chokehold. I go to sleep for a week. Austin M, any thoughts on UMass Toledo? Maybe under. Oh, we didn't mention there was another game that he mentioned there. What was that? The Boise Oregon game. I like Oregon, but who is behind? Oh, is Dr. Bob likes Boise State at 21. I like Oregon at the current number.
I'm having trouble getting past the Oregon offensive line performance versus Idaho. I thought it was really bad. And you look at it, and I know Gabriel was able to kind of, chuck it up and down, short passing down the field, very efficient. I don't know how Boise doesn't just roll out the same defense. It's that classic, 3-3-5, you drop 8, and you keep it in front of you. And the Boise offense is pretty good. So I kind of lean Boise, but it only would have been a play for me at the 21.
Now to the UMass Toledo game from Austin. I lean UMass.
I do too.
Yeah.
What's the price we got?
I didn't time it enough. I was waiting for a 21. I am not in midseason form as far as market timing. It's been a little goofy so far. So it got to like 20 and a half. I thought the market would wait for a 21 to pop.
Oh, my
Never
God.
did. They bought it. I can't do it at 17 and a half now.
No.
But I think UMass is the right side. That should have been
missed that one too. No, I'm with you. I was really this is more, I think, an anti-Toledo position. I would not been impressed with it. I don't love, who they've got a quarterback. I don't think they should be the favorite to win the MAC or in there. So again, strong anti-Toledo. UMass. Hopefully it looks better.
Maybe Eastern though is better than expected.
I understand, but I agree with the move strongly. It would have been a best bet had that number stayed around 20.
Agree. The missed opportunity. So you know what that means. UMass outright.
Yeah, I should have put them in the money line round robin.
Yeah. Cass in the chat. What do you make of the Auburn Cal line movement? We disagreed and made Auburn the best bet. Boom. Action Sports Central. Surprised you haven't been all over ECU versus ODU. Or has your opinion changed on ODU? The line moved through 0 is concerning. We're not the only tout. I'm not the only tout service that had some lines move against me this week. So it's a weird market this year. I bet East Carolina in the game, so I'm not concerned. I bet East Carolina. I would bet them at that number. I am all in though on the over in the game.
I agree. You know what? This is another one. I know that, obviously, a number of people on East Carolina, Old Dominion keeps getting bought back. And, you have to look at Old Dominion's performance and be like, they literally should have beaten an SEC team in their house. So, you want to talk week 1 performances that maybe don't get enough. When you lose the game, you don't get the same bump as if you win, but they should have won that game. So, obviously, a significantly improved team. With that said, yeah, I'm with you on East Carolina. Would lean that way at pick.
Yeah, I'm already I already bet East Carolina earlier this week. East Carolina over the win total, Old Dominion under the win total. The total, I mean, that's the most important game of the week for me. So I don't want to continue to add to that stress. Zach in the chat. Happy week 2. Been seeing some major Friday movement. Yeah, we did see a bunch today. San Jose State, Mississippi State, Nevada. Was that you guys? Was that me? Was that you?
No. So none of honestly, I kind of disagree with the San Jose State move. The other 2 moves, I see it, understand. The Friday, and to give you an answer, the Friday money is usually the first time the really serious professional syndicates get involved. That's why you see, it's usually pretty dormant Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday is when you start getting the really, really serious money, and then into Saturday morning with some stuff. So, but I got to be honest with you, the San Jose State one I thought was aggressive. Would lean with the other 2. I am surprised that San Jose State has gotten all the way back down to, 3.5 currently trading most places. Even there's even a 3 out there, which I was I'm kind of shocked with.
Yeah, I didn't like either team in the week one. I know San Jose State had a big fourth quarter, but I gotta see. I mean, my numbers are screaming Air Force right now. At 3, I'm betting Air Force. Not comfortable with either team yet to be best bet, but yeah, that's why I agree. I would have bet 7, but I'm not running the window to laying 4. Give me plus 4.5. Give me plus
Right.
4. Give me plus 3.5. No way on San Jose
Yeah,
State there.
I agree.
We have 604 people currently watching and only
Oh,
211 likes.
We're
Keep
at
them likes
600
numbers
now. Just
up.
pushing 600.
We need those likes numbers up.
R.I.P. forward
50%.
progress.
Yeah. Arthur in the chat, Oklahoma State minus 9.5. This was an aggressive move today. 7.5 went all the way up to 10. A little bit of buyback at 10. I made it 10. So I certainly would lean Oklahoma State minus 9.5. I did take part in that wave of money on Oklahoma State today. I was waiting, for 7, and then away they went at 7.5 this morning.
Yep, I'm with you. I thought they were one of the most impressive week 1 performance. I just watching that game. I was like, man, this. I really would have loved to stick it to Gundy, for a fall apart year, and then watching that game versus South Dakota State, I was like, nope, they're legit. I would even go as far to say maybe Big 12 favorite. Not priced that way in the market, but for my money, I thought I'd be hard pressed.
I mean, I need another week. Everybody played an FCS, although they played the best FCS opponent. So I need Baylor, Utah is a pretty good data point. Oklahoma State, Arkansas is a good data point. Kansas State, let's hope they cover against Tulane. That'll be a decent data point. I need one more data point. Remember when Knish said Gundy might lose his job? I'll tell you who does remember. A lot of the people that were watching that day, they remind him all the time.
And some Oklahoma State guys occasionally dig it up, that clip up. That one, and God, there's another what did I say that was so fucking stupid that people dig up sometimes? I think it's the Dan Campbell, my own Lions brethren, the Dan Campbell hiring video. It was Texas, not even Lions fans, Texas A&M fans dig that up sometimes. That the Dan Campbell was a disaster, and I was like,
now he's gonna be in Hollywood soon after that Applebee's commercial.
So, yeah.
Jason in the chat, need a Michigan weather report from Joey K. Gonna be windy, under 42.5. I think you're late to the party on the under.
Yeah, you're too late. It'll be a little windy, but not anything crazy. So, and listen, I mean, did you expect Michigan to throw it downfield anyway? The wind doesn't matter when all you throw is a 5-yard out and a swing pass. So, yeah, I think you missed the steam on that.
I like Michigan plus 7.5. I like
that. Can't chase the total now, but yeah, I would expect lower scoring. Absolutely.
Eat that in the chat. Thoughts on Oklahoma minus 27.5 home to Houston. I bet this number earlier this week. Houston's bad, really bad, but Oklahoma's plus 6 in turnovers, and I am not hearing good practice reports from Jackson Arnold so far this fall. So I'm not betting it. I bet the under and a long time ago in a galaxy far away, but that no bet at either number right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, listen, we got our Oklahoma cover versus Temple, so I don't want to, trap, but yeah, that was one of those. The final score is not indicative of how ugly it was for Oklahoma on offense at times in that game. And even though our man Deion Burke scored a bunch of times, they weren't able to get him that much. They were having to find other ways to get the ball in his hands. Yeah, Jackson Arnold, Mikey V, who's usually watching here, I think I saw it like, man, somebody better pay up for a real quarterback if that's going to be we'll see this week though. If he looks rough again against another lower tier opponent, then it might be a little panic in might be a little panic in Stillwater.
I need some better. Yeah, we'll see. That's funny. Mike in the chat. I'm telling you that was told to me. He didn't look good against Temple. Temple's bad. Howdy in the chat. Thoughts on South Carolina, Kentucky understeam this week? It's Raz. Current numbers, I would lean over. Kentucky's going to play Temple. I don't think the market's fully grasped that Kentucky game last week that was played 35 minutes. That's it. against Southern Miss. That's all it was played, 35 minutes last week. So I don't know if the market's got that one fully priced accordingly. So I would lean over at the current numbers after it got tanked down 3 points. Have you done anything in that game?
No, I listen. I agreed with the original move. I thought South Carolina's offense was woof versus
it was bad. It was bad.
But I agree. Like, I think Kentucky. I kind of like the Kentucky side, and it would lean that the other way in the total now that it's steamed down. So agree.
We got a super chat. DDH3. How do I become a member? Can't find a button on the mobile app. Liking a lot of big dogs this week. Thoughts on Zips in Western Michigan, Duquesne outright. Lock it in, Zach. Who the hell is Duquesne playing? Boston College? Yeah, they're playing Boston College. I don't like that. No. That big BC offensive line will lean on them. Zips.
Are you on the? I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of leaning the other way on that Zips game.
Zach, do you know how on the phone how they become a member?
Yes.
I'm checking this right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Christ.
Sorry, I'm grandpa, so I don't know on that.
I got to. Pizzola and I are gonna have a board meeting after today. I tell you what. Yeah, there's gonna be some shake up here in the offices of the Hammer today after this kind of performance. You can't charge. Says you can't do it on mobile.
I don't know if you can do it on mobile.
First of all, you can't sub on mobile. I mean, I feel like that's a YouTube
you
issue.
Can subscribe. I don't know, boys. I'm on it right now.
Look at that.
I don't see any option to join here. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God, what is going on?
I'll figure it out.
We cannot get it together. I mean, the light turn. You know that Trump meme. Turn them off. The brights are too bright. Turn them off. So, my goodness,
trying, boys.
Right.
I'll send a message in the chat if I can figure it out.
All right. He only paid $5 to get the question answered, and we can't even do that. What good are we? Might as well refund them. We're already writing refunds on week 2. No. Do you like Akron or Western Michigan this week?
I'm kind of on the other side of the Akron game. I would agree. Western, Ohio State.
I don't like them Buckeyes.
You Buckeye? You?
I don't like the Buckeyes. I rewatched that game. I'm not. No. I don't like. I mean, they did pull an all-out effort last week against Wisconsin. Can you keep doing it? I don't know.
Yeah. Not a great spot.
I bet Rutgers. I did not bet the Western Michigan Ohio State game. Keep it rolling here. Jason in the chat. FIU starting. Oh, Mr. Muscles, Washington. Gave out Washington. I agree with that move. Just if that one's on the move, I agree with that one. Raz is on Eastern Michigan, so just the tout wars continue this year.
It just continue, right? That one, I mean, that one touched what 27.5, 28 for a minute there.
Yeah, crazy. So, it's all different numbers, so we'll see. I agree with Mr. Muscles there. Hopefully, he loses tonight, and then we can win that one together tomorrow. Jason in the chat. FIU starting linebacker team captain retired this week after one game. Cause for concern. Well, that's good news for us because we like Central Michigan on this show.
Are you a little surprised that this is still? I mean,
yeah, there's buyback. I didn't. Tout service might jump in. So that's all you need to know, folks.
Yeah, listen. This is one of those that usually I am surprised that this isn't sitting around a touchdown. I'll just leave it at that. So I thought, again, lower tier FCS team, but I thought the Central Michigan offense will be, and FIU is one of those programs that really has to scrap it together. Okay, they probably should be an FCS team. So, no, I know at Pitbull Arena it might be a little.
It might be lit.
It might be. It might be. Maybe the HFA is like LSU night game now. But no, I like Central.
Agree. Recreational player is Texas Tech under 7.5 wins plus 120. A good or great bet? I'll do you one further. That's an awesome bet. Awesome bet. That's all I gotta say there. He probably is not going to.
Available, or was that like a preseason bet?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that's still there, but he's not willing to, for obvious reasons. I would bet that now. I can just tell you that because I'm sure there's people looking recreational player. That's not a recreational bet. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
I have it at 6 right now currently.
Yeah.
Joe Boat, too early to fade Georgia Tech. Syracuse will play at +3. I think the macro level is Georgia Tech. All that upgrade that we did to their power rating for the Florida State win doesn't look so good now when Boston College beat them by far worse. So if I had to play it, I guess I'd lean Syracuse +3. Although I watched the Syracuse Ohio game this morning, I'm not impressed with Syracuse. So maybe over is the best play there.
Yeah, I never pulled the trigger on that. I really thought when it was getting to 3, there was some 3.5 for a minute. I just never pulled the trigger.
Look at that, 2.5.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I honestly, and pull the trigger by that, I mean on Syracuse, not Georgia Tech. I agree with you that it maybe that we got a little excited about the Yellow Jackets early, but it would be Syracuse, not at 2.5 though. It would be a lean Syracuse for me, but I have not fired on it yet.
Lean over for me. Charles in the chat. Happy Friday, boys. Any market moves you noticed this week that have interested you on macro terms? Any teams that seem to be popular or too early to tell these things? It's a good question. I don't know yet. Market's different than even last year. Have you seen anything? Like the market absolutely hates a team? I haven't drawn any conclusions yet on that.
I mean, like you said, tough after just 2 weeks, especially since some teams haven't even played, an FBS team yet. So nothing on a macro level that I've drawn any, significant conclusions from. I'm looking. But I mean, there seems to be kind of a, you get your Monday, Tuesday routine with a lot of the different services. Yeah. Usually a quieter Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday again. It picks back up once the limits really get up. And we'll see some Saturday. I mean, there's been a couple aggressive, or at least week 1 had a couple of aggressive Saturday moves. We'll see if that continues into tomorrow.
The battles, I think, are the macro. I mean, one service will release one. It'll move a point and a half. No, great point. Somebody will come back, and we're just right back to where we began. So, my goodness. I'll tell you where we're not right where we began. How about 630 viewers? Breaking records. That's a record.
Every week.
Not for this show, for the network.
The network record. Every single week.
Wait, this is Sports Center. This is 1990 Sports Center. Just put in perspective. So that's what we're just carrying the flag here. So thank you to those that are watching live.
Putting food in Moretto's kid's mouth.
I know. Unbelievable. Not that I need more food in my fat mouth, but Trevor in the chat. Thoughts on McCall's passing yards? I think Nico could light it up, force NC State to air raid late in the game. What's you say and the old franchise say this week? Do you got anything?
You know what? That is not one that have bet yet. Let me actually see, Zach, you got that? I don't know if Zach. I know we're putting them in a little
NC State, here. Tennessee.
Yeah, NC State, Tennessee. I haven't even. This is one that haven't even looked at here in the last few days. I would think they would 240 now. No, not for me. I hear what you're saying if they get down, but you're really dependent on game script there. Because to me, on the other side of things, I would think NC State would want to do a little bit more of the McCall coastal offense. We're going to run some things and maybe take a little bit more time off as opposed to what you're getting with such an explosive Tennessee offense. And also another one where the markets kept buying Tennessee all week without much resistance. One of those ones that hasn't had much resistance. So it'd be a pass for me on the McCall prop.
What do you think about the game? Another bet on the market. One way, nothing but Tennessee all week, and then we finally saw the buyback today at 10.
Yeah, I makes sense to me. This is one that I don't want to overreact to one game too much. But NC State, I got to see more this week. So I agree with the original play. And I thought Tennessee, both teams was high on coming into the season. Will I still be there on NC State after this week? I don't know. So, but
I regret that Circa opened 6, and some of the other places had even lower than that.
Yeah.
So that stinks. 9 is where I made it, so I'm past right now. I do lean over if you had to bet it right now at the current numbers. Charles in the chat, Baylor, Utah. I like Baylor. Anything above 2 touchdowns. That's part of the old tout service.
Yeah, that was an early week BP play there.
It's moved. And now there was, again, their buyback, release 17 goes down to 14. Some people are willing to lay 14. There's now some 15 and a half in the market. Anything above 14 is good to go for me. So
yeah,
that's where I'm at.
I would concur. That would be the lean on my as well. Just think it kind of plays into Baylor a little bit. Not being able to Utah not running. I would be surprised if they lost. Baylor lost this game by 3+ scores.
I don't think you're going to get optimal Utah this early in the season. Optimal offense would be them running Cam Rising. They're not going to do it. So you're not getting them at full strength, in my opinion. Charles also in the chat, Dilford versus ULM. We saw a little bit of ULM money, didn't we?
Yeah, tailgate was that wasn't tailgate. He was on the other Lafayette there was Kennesaw. UL Monroe, I will say, looked a little bit more functional versus Jackson State than I would have thought. With that said, that number's thin for me.
I did bet UAB. I think FanDuel had it 8. So I thank you, FanDuel, earlier this week. I think that was. Love that. There is an interesting angle here. Vincent, the new coach at ULM, was fired after 1 year at UAB. Remember, he was the interim coach for Bill Clark.
Yeah.
Went to a bowl game. They fired him. So he'll probably have an axe to grind. So I'm not wild about the game right now at the current numbers. RW fan talking Clemson, App State. Total has been a fight in the market. There's so many fights in the market right now. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done anything with the total? We were talking about the side earlier.
Early in the week played under. And I go, no, this one's kind of taking some back and forth there. I think, when I got to even see what the history of this was, because it's kind of right about, I think I played some 52.5 there, and it's sitting about there. I would lean towards the under where it at currently.
Burt Brownies, good day, fellas. Give a few thoughts on the Eastern Michigan-Washington game. Good luck this weekend. Another battle. Guess what? Broken record. Another battle in the market. Early money on Washington. Buyback from Raz on Eastern Michigan. As we're doing the show, Mr. Muscles gave out Washington. I bet Washington earlier in the week, so I'm hoping for that. But Eastern Michigan now I think is 29, and I'm not a trends guy, but this has been going on for a decade now. I think they're 29-8. Last 37 times they've been a road underdog against the spread.
That event. I always do the Kirk Snyder comparison for coaches that like somehow just no matter who's on the team or Chris Creighton is one of those that just seems to overperform year after year his talent level. With that said, yeah, it was one of those like it got to 24. That's a buy point on Washington, 28 on Eastern Michigan. I'd still lean Washington at the current with you. Jacob in the chat. Is there any hope for Wisconsin this season? I don't think so. I don't think so either. It's not. And you know what? Zach, get the TikTok camera ready. Clip it. Luke Fickell on hot seat after this season. Only one more year left in Camp Randall, baby, because the new offense isn't working. And I don't think Fickell was really that great. I'll give him, listen, what people want to give him the flowers for what he did at Cincinnati. I don't think it's working in the Big Ten. I don't think it's working at Wisconsin. Yeah, their season, I actually think they're going to not have an easy way tomorrow. And then next week, the Crimson Tide roll into town. So, no, I would not have went air raid. That was a bad decision by Fickell. I would have just recruited better, found a better quarterback than what Wisconsin had. But that was not a broken machine there. No, recruit big players, just recruit a little bit better skill, including quarterback. And I mean, come on, they've been the program had been to 6 Rose Bowl games in 30 years, playing a certain style that fits them geographically. Yeah, I cannot believe he did that. Anthony Roman, thoughts on Boise State and UVA? Thanks, boys.
I like Virginia. Of the two, I like Virginia more than I do Boise.
Yeah, I would. Again, that's one that I've actually played some Virginia there, so that's when I have to put the money where the mouth is on that one. Yeah, the Boise, Oregon, we talked about a little bit. It kind of a fight between 18 and 21 there. Nothing too keen for me on that one where it's at.
We got another big time super chat here from Adam, $9.99. I came here for a full breakdown of Eagles Packers boycotting forward progress until hit the books builds a healthy hammer follower lead. Have you done anything with tonight's game?
I am on dum. I'm on some pack, baby.
Really?
Packers 2.5, little Packers money line. So
interesting.
I like some
head to head. I'll lay it with the Eagles.
Are we going head to head?
Yeah, we'll go head to head.
Put it on the tracker, baby. Head to head at 2.5.
2.5. Jeez. What? I mean, I'm taking.
All
right. That's fine. That's fine.
BP. I'm giving you even a little minus 108 there.
All right, fine. Oh yeah, out of the goodness of your heart. I think it's one of the only. All right. Yep. Head to head. Boom. So I got something to root for besides BYU. Little one of our original 65 followers, the tailgate tent. More care about Knish's personal life, health stack, and workout plan than about college football. Shows what they think about his college football knowledge.
Hey, baby, you come to hit the books for college football, and you get a little NFL and a little bit of Joey glow up. So hey, nothing wrong with that.
Bad guy. Any thoughts on the Indiana spread tonight? Got it at 42. I made it 45, total 55, and that's where we're at. It's funny. I don't even tell anybody stuff. Sometimes I don't even want to bet it. I just want to see what the market does without any influence whatsoever, without anybody telling anybody. And it's right where I like that early in the season to see, if I'm in line with the market, but I don't see any value. Did you do anything with this game?
Some guys I work with bet some Indiana small at 42, 43. Nothing big though. I know I did see Indiana's best player on offense, Donovan, is out for tonight. So that notification came across since we've been on. So it would be a small at those current numbers would be leaning to the under there at 54.5. That's it.
Ryan in the chat, Colorado, Nebraska over. Are we firing on this baby? There's been some under money.
There has been some under money. I still like the over.
Yeah, where are we at? You get a 55.5. 55 is a relatively key number in totals. You want to go over?
Yeah.
I'm in for points. Yeah, that'd be fun. Let's go over. I question Nebraska's ability to defend in space against that passing attack for Colorado. Yep. I question Colorado's ability to
defend anything. Colorado defend a 7-on-7 team.
Yeah, I think the public gets involved tomorrow and they bet over. Just saying. So let's go ahead and go over 55.5. Best bet. Boom.
You know what? I agree. I strongly agree that I think you will see over money tomorrow, and this is kind of the bottom out for that total.
Do we continue to see Colorado money tomorrow is the question.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't have a good feel. I don't have a strong take on that either way.
I did not notice this, so shame on me. But apparently FanDuel opened some FCS games yesterday. I didn't even look.
It depends on the state you're in.
Okay.
Because some states don't have them.
Yeah. Idaho, Wyoming opened 4.5, got bumped to 7.5. Was that me? Nope, it was not me. That's all I'm willing to say about that matchup right now. Dylan in the chat, maybe if the wind is at Orgy's back, he won't skip in a 5-yard hitch like last week. Oof.
Listen, you're not. I think Davis Warren's your quarterback for better or worse because 26 pass attempts to 2 last week says all you need to say there. Orgy, he's just going to be a bit gadget player type of, and I mean, that throw kind of says it all. Maybe a picture's worth a video worth 1,000 words right there. If that's what you're doing on that play, then you can't be the starting quarterback.
650 viewers, another record. They keep rolling in 600. They're
You
waiting for
didn't
that.
give Jackie her flowers. Our greatest single female viewer asking that question.
She's
Jackie,
staying. She's staying for that glow up.
I know.
Knish.
Well, and Jackie, cousin of Nick, Costos there, coming in with. We appreciate her continued service here, and watching our beloved hit the books family.
Moneyline parlay coming up in just 10 minutes. That's how you do it. Tease. Longtime pod listener from Garrett. First live stream. Thoughts on Sam Houston plus 21.5. Another battle in the market.
Yeah.
Here. Raz likes Sam Houston. Dr. Bob and BP like Central Florida. I like Central Florida.
You know what? I think you mentioned on Monday's show that like when Central Florida gets the chance to bury somebody, I think
7-1 laying 3 touchdowns.
It really is a question of how improved do you think Sam Houston is? And I don't have a great feel for that. They did look better last week, but enough to go into the bounce house and stick with UCF. Because, I mean, they're an all-time. This is like, the Florida Lane Kiffins here of like when it's, 46-10 or going, 2-second plays and trying to make it, 70. So, I always factor that in UCF games. I would kind of lean your way as well. But probably not a strong take. I got, you know what? I got to get your opinion. I got to jump in because there's a game around the same number. Where you at on Liberty, New Mexico State? Because
at the current number, I'd bet over 54, even though the entire world's on the under.
I'm leaning toward. Listen, and this is from a guy who was, looking up real estate in Las Cruces last year, going down there to spend the winter. I like Liberty in this game. And I would be surprised here if they didn't take out the hammer here on New Mexico State, who I think is significantly worse than last year, and should have lost to SEMO last week.
Zach, that Florida State, BC, and Florida State upcoming yet? The question, you want to put that one up? I don't see that. Maybe I'm blind. I don't know. Maybe I need a new set of glasses. I don't see that. Oh, DT plus the points. Guys, you have to talk about this. Florida State -5 versus Memphis. No money line yet, unfortunately. That line was 2.5 on Tuesday night. I got DM'd and texted that one. Of course, everyone asked my opinion on it, but nobody, threw old BP a bone. Funny how that works. It was short. So there it is, 3.5. It's still short. What's your thoughts? It was 17 prior to the season.
Yeah. I mean, is Florida State 2 TDs worse than we thought?
Nah, you're downgrading them 2 touchdowns already.
I think they're at least 10 points worse than I thought.
I hear you. I think they reset. I think they reset after the bye.
That's not an advocate of. Again, that's a good point because I think Mike Norvell is a great coach. But
we'll find out though, because now, we'll see the rest of the season. I'm not. I've been parading him around as a great coach,
baby, and Coach Prime might be coaching Florida State next year.
Yeah, I've been parading him around as a great coach, but if they have a losing season, then I will rebuke those thoughts. I will take them back because that would be 3 losing seasons in 5 years. Basically, he's a losing coach at Florida State without Jordan Travis.
Yeah. Did you? I didn't hear you cut out for a second. Did you like Liberty or no?
Oh no, I did.
No. I'm asking you. Did you?
Oh no. I like the under. I'm sorry.
All right.
Why? You want to give it out?
No, not that. There's. Again, don't want to give other better price of it. That's a Joey. Oh, we'll call it a Joey K special there. That I like Liberty at anything under 23 for that one.
I think what's advantageous for you, New Mexico State, was running tempo, like super fast tempo. And when you're up against an opponent that's far superior to you, you don't want to run tempo. So that would be to your advantage. Ryan in the chat, Texas State, UTSA. Honestly, this might be one of the more important games this week.
This is big time, big time with potential playoff implications this early.
I would not bet it at the current numbers.
I have nothing on this game either. I have no bet on this game, side or total or prop.
I had it, but I mean, again, numbers far away, plus 3.5. I took on UTSA. Doesn't matter. Inconsequential to the current line. So I basically made it 1-61. So there it is. Casey in the chat, we're going to fly through these for 5-6 more minutes and get to the Moneyline parlay and any other best bets that we have. Any thoughts on Oregon State, San Diego State, or Arizona State, Mississippi State? I like Oregon State. Gave that out in the tout service. It's up. That's one where the market's agreed with me. At least I think. I see some 5s popping now. My goodness. Market hates old BP. They say, hey, he's over the hill. He sucks. He can't win. So we'll see where that is at. But I would lay even 5.5 there. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah,
Arizona State, I'm not there yet. That was one where Raz gave out Arizona State, got up to like 6.5. Another service came back on Mississippi State, and now the line keeps going down and down and down. I will say this: if it comes down to 4, I would prefer to lay it with ASU.
I'm with you on the Oregon State. I don't have a strong take on the ASU Mississippi State game. I do think Oregon State's the right side, and San Diego State needed a lot to get going last week, and a lot of things. I'm not sure that offense is going to. The Sean Lewis, God love him. Man, there was some times at Kent State, and even where if it's not rolling right, you can get in a big hole running that offense. And I'm not sure they have the personnel to do it against an Oregon State team that I still think is pretty competitive. So, yeah, I'm with you.
I think they just run over them, Oregon State. I mean, that's what they did last week. They had 360 yards rushing. I think that's repeatable against smaller competition. Will in the chat, will Navy's new offense be enough to cover versus Temple? Man, that's a game I didn't bet side or total.
Game of the week.
Yeah. I didn't bet side or total there.
I do like the other.
Horseshoe likes the over.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be rooting for the under. That'll give me something to root for. Then I don't know, but I'll be rooting for the under.
Horseshoe likes the over.
Where you at on Army FAU?
Mr. Muscles likes FAU. 3 is the one where I made it. So it's a lay 2.5, take 3.5. It's 3. Pass.
Okay.
Where you at?
I played some troops there. I like it anything. I'm not 2.5 though. Over 3 was and maybe a sprinkle of money line on that one. We'll see here in a minute. But I'm surprised. I thought Florida Atlantic. I don't think their offense can function. Like I just don't think. And again, this is a Michigan State defense that is not exactly filled with a bunch of talent. I just don't see how the offense can function against anybody. And I think Army will do enough on offense.
Charles, unfortunately, I'm not going to talk about the FCS games yet. I do plan on being involved in both of those games involving Arizona and Fresno and their FCS competition. I will put it that way. I would talk about them if I didn't think there was a lot of value. The fact I'm not talking about them means I think there's value.
Live show halftime tomorrow, Texas, Michigan. If we've already gotten, then maybe we can touch on them then.
You're the pro. I'm the amateur. The great tease. Yes, indeed. We are doing halftime Texas, Michigan tomorrow. The big noon kickoff. So at halftime,
I may or may. If it's 28-0 Texas, then you might be solo. But
that's fine. I will talk FCS tomorrow on that halftime. If there's anything still left on the board, there should be, because now it looks like they're gonna be typical and not post anything, especially those FCS versus FCS games. They'll be late to the party. So that will be a show to watch. I will give out at least an FCS play or 2 or 3. We'll see what the board's looking like, but tune in for that if you want FCS info. Trip in the chat, major large bet on South Carolina under 5.5 minus 146 at FanDuel. Agree or disagree? I agree. Where are the wins? That was supposed to be one of their easiest games.
Yeah, that.
I mean, they have Akron and Wofford, but other than that, I mean, I got a big dog and every other. I guess at Vanderbilt, but that game's way tougher now.
Yeah, so no, that's a great point. Yeah, Sellers looked rough. Rough. It was like he looked like if we just played orgy. Like if you're like, oh, this guy, we're gonna play this guy. He's really athletic, but he can't throw a lick. I don't know. Oh, it's right there. And so yeah, I would agree with that play.
Yeah, put in perspective. If you didn't look at that play-by-play. Old Dominion turned it over twice inside their own 10-yard line to set up 2 scoring drives, touchdowns for South Carolina, totaling 9 yards. And then on 1st and goal at the 9, Old Dominion threw an interception. So, I mean, Old Dominion should have won the game. Chosen Sports, NC State is live. Nah, I don't think so. What do you say?
I mean, before the
Everybody's
season,
live.
I don't want to, again, no one overreact to one game. Before the season, I would have said yes. Hard looking at both those results and feeling great about that they're live, though.
Did you do anything tonight in the other games? How to win is asking, besides BYU.
I mean, listen, again, it was around for a while, but I do have some Duke +3. Would actually, again, this is disgusting, but would kind of lean over in that one at the current number as well.
Oh no!
When it's
Blue
10,
Horseshoe likes the over.
Oh, he does too.
Yep, loves the over.
God
I like
damn it.
the under.
Even at current?
No.
Okay.
Number in a galaxy far away that I got. But we'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully it's good weather so you can see the lakeshore there, at least for the opening quarter. Idaho, Wyoming thoughts. Check the injury report. There's a good that's what I can give you. Jeff Rappaport, South Dakota, viable at 16. Where are these numbers at? I'm not even seeing that. Where's that at?
That one's I don't even see it around, so
Where?
nothing turned up.
Yeah.
Jeff,
So
maybe we'll hit you tomorrow, Jeff.
I will answer tomorrow. I was just looking to see for obvious reasons. Ohio over. I don't see any defense being played. Love Ohio, South Alabama over. Love it. Just both teams look like dead nut over teams to me. Both offenses better than expected. Both defenses worse than expected. And they took it off. They didn't even put it on. They said, we're scared. We know the tout service. We know Raz gave out over on this game. We know BP gave out over on this game. I just did a podcast before the show. I gave out the over, and they said, we're scared. We love FanDuel, but they're scared. That should tell you everything that you should know there, that they took it down. We love you, FanDuel. 660 viewers. Hopefully one of them is not the bosses at FanDuel, because I'll be like, you cannot say that. Whatever. I'm going to say the truth. So when I say that I love FanDuel, then people will know that I do. But I'm going to criticize when I criticize. So come on. Listen, we keep it real. Matt, Virginia Wake Forest total. Any interest in the over? I did bet the over early in the week, but not at the current number.
Same feelings there for me. It was an early mover. Think it's
a lot of services on that one. Charles in the chat. We're wrapping this up here quickly. Bama game of the year -9.5 versus Wisconsin is approaching the famous Texas A&M levels of Brad CLV. Well, no, nothing approaches that one. That was LSU, Texas A&M.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I had 24.5 points, and that idiot, that F-head, Brian Kelly, after scoring a touchdown, I had LSU plus 14.5. They closed a 10-point favorite. LSU scored a touchdown to go down 15 with a minute left. He goes for 2 and misses and loses by 15. I hate that guy. Hate. Brian Kelly.
That really.
That's the worst CLV game I've ever had. Just the way, not only losing it, but
losing in that
which it was lost.
Final
one from Charles. Speaking of fickle, give me this high-flying Narduzzi offense. That was a positive, and we did see. I'll tell you, that is a market takeaway. I think the market's on top of them now as far as their offense. Because that
I'm a little surprised at the Cincy buyback. I like that.
I would bet 3. I need 3 to bet Pitt.
Okay.
Remember, Corleone might play. That might be part of it. Their best defensive player.
The Godfather.
That might be part of it for that. Over got smashed.
Yeah.
So I this one goes high, goes over even this total, then you're going to see money coming in on Pittsburgh totals over for the next week or two. Cameron Parker Awad is the worst quarterback I've ever seen. He's a New Mexico State quarterback. Their entire quarterback play was horrific. Yeah. You want to give that out? You want to lay it with Liberty?
There's just a lot, like there's like a point better. Some so.
Oh, okay, fair enough. A couple more. North Carolina's quarterback Harrell under 198.5 passing yards. What say you? Where's Joey Props at today?
Yeah, no, you know what, Joe? A cold start to the season, and then Joey Props didn't do a little check here before the. I would lean that way though with that because I don't know if they. Yeah, you know what? Listen. Is it down to 190 now? Because if you've got that, yeah, I agree with your play there. I'll put it like that. I think it's a little number there in FanDuel. Yeah, if you've got around 200 or about that, yeah, I would lean that way as well. You know what, Weston? I'll give you put it in, Zach. We'll give Weston the credit for it. If he there, because I don't know if he. I want to say they're going to might even doing a little QB rotation there as well. Checking out the other option. So
interesting.
I think they're just gonna run and run and run on Charlotte. So yeah, I actually Weston, good find there. I'll give you the credit for it. If it loses though, I'll roast you.
Yeah, that's classic Tout 101. Yeah, we're off to a slow start. So what we'll do is we'll refine the model. It's not coming out.
I've been
we'll take a week or two, make some adjustments, and then we'll get back to you.
Yeah, 3-star lean.
Fair enough. We will give you some.
Go back to the lab.
Here's some leans. You know, they're not official plays. Austin in the chat, Mike Wright over 34.5 rushing yards. There's another prop for tonight. Northwestern quarterback.
Here's the problem. Duke's defense is a tackle for loss machine, and the sacks come off your rushing yardage in college. So that would keep me away. I know he'll be a big part of the game plan there is rushing it. I don't really trust this Northwestern offense. I kind of like what Duke has on defense. I'm obviously on Duke on the game. So it would be a pass for me there.
That's it. Let's get to the Moneyline parlay and any other remaining best bets that we have. Without further ado,
pull it up, baby. Zach. 3 or 4 left. And you know what? God, I've been so kicking myself. We should have started. If I left a few off the chain, got too greedy with UConn last week. But 3 or 4 to start the season. Let's go 4. Pull it up, Zach. So we're going. We teased the Pittsburgh, baby. You can even get a little bit better price. I think we're screenshotting it from earlier, but Pitt money line. Think they're live versus Cincinnati. High variance, high scoring game. Going with the Cyhawk. Me and BP, little head to head here. But I think Iowa State's Joey. I'm going to go down firing bullets here, fading this Iowa team. So I'm on Iowa State in the game, like Iowa State in the money line. Tulsa was another one, a game we didn't actually touch on there because I was a little shocked at the Arkansas State move. I think I know who did that. And Arkansas State should be a little healthier this week. But again, massive variance game, super high total. Think it'll be up and down both ways. Tulsa's offense looks much improved. So think that's one. Anytime you can get that type of total with the game that I think will be score for score there, like putting the plus 260 in there. And you hear me, you heard me tease it. Army, money line, troops. Don't think Florida Atlantic's very good. Think Army will give them a time. So there is our FanDuel underdog money line round robin of the week.
Pays 30, little over 35 to 1.
35 to 1. Let's bring them all home. And you know what? FanDuel might not. They might be, filing for Chapter 11 after that one. After this, baby. I like. That's the underlying underdog money line round robin for the week.
I want to talk about that Tulsa, Arkansas State. You don't have to say their name, but I want to bet Tulsa. Tell me I'm wrong.
Too. Listen, there was 3. I'll give you a clue. 3 letters. But I think there was some Arkansas State linemen out last week, if I'm understood. And so the thought was that maybe they're back this week. Regardless, I like Tulsa at anything over a touchdown.
Best bet Tulsa plus 8.5.
I like it. I think they're live in the game. Like them over a TV.
I agree. I think they're live too. Arkansas State was really bad last week on a per play. And then I always go back to this: change one play in the game. They got a very fortunate call at the end of the game to give them a touchdown to give them the win. They lose that game. What's this line? I
Right.
bet it isn't. I bet it's less than 7. One play changed that line.
There's another Joey Greedy's got to get your take on USC, Utah State. Anything there?
I don't like Utah State this year at all.
Me neither. I kind of think this should be like 31.
Oh, wow. I don't like the spot for SC, though.
Yeah, no. It is definitely a come down spot. I think Utah State's like terrible. Like legitimately, like maybe borderline. We said it in the summer, if you were listening to us, like if your plan for the year was Spencer Petras, who's now hurt, it was like, we're going to bring him out of retirement from Iowa to be our starting quarterback. That's it. I think they get smashed. And USC defense is significantly improved. So to me, I think this is like 56-17.
There you go. Any other things that we left off?
I don't think we hit.
Zach, recap the best bets. Let me see if there is something.
Yeah, Zach, might as well recap them while you're still on the payroll after today. I don't know how long it's going to be, but you better keep it rolling.
All right, boys. Here we go. We've got a huge list of stuff that we're looking for this weekend. So Kansas State -9.5 was given before. Iowa State +3 was from earlier. Northern Illinois was from Monday's show. If we're looking for today, we went Auburn -12.5. Connor Harrell under 190.5 passing yards, -114 there. Central Michigan -5.5 was from Monday as well. And Tulsa +8.5. We have a huge
holy cow!
here.
We were active.
Washington, we have the Colorado, Nebraska over 55.5, and Wazoo Moneyline -111 there. That is all of the bets for today. Big portfolio.
Yeah, we don't have to add anything to that. That looks good. And if you want some more, we have some strong opinions on a few other games that, I think that's enough. Do you want to add any more to the portfolio?
No, I think that's good portfolio for the week. And hey, let's keep it rolling into tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I'll be rooting for the Cougars tonight. The Cougars that are around Knish and also the ones down there in Dallas, Texas, BYU.
You know it. So. Yay. You got any, since we're taking over the network, you got any NFL for the weekend?
I kind of like, you can tell me if I'm off. I kind of like Jacksonville, +3.5.
Yep.
Let me think. There's quite a bit. I love the NFL. So let's run them down. Forget it. I mean, since we're taking over the network, nobody's tuning in to watch Hitman give out losing. 15 straight. So let's see what we got. I did go along with Hitman on the Minnesota money line.
Hitman and Mr. Muscles with a big head-to-head on Carolina Saints.
I'm more with Hitman on that one. What's with all this? Cincinnati's banged up.
Higgins is doubtful, and Jamar Chase is questionable if he doesn't get his contract done.
I obviously Wong teaser. Cincinnati's one leg. The other leg for me would be
make sure Chase plays though. If I'm going to do that, I wouldn't be Wong in that boy until I get the confirm that Chase signs that contract. Otherwise, you're playing wide receiver for the Bengals. Barry likes the Bucks.
Likes the Bucks?
That's what he said. Bucks lock.
Oh, I'm not there yet. Oh, Barry horse. Man, we got a lot. We got the people from all over. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't bet that game. Have you? I heard there's a battle in the market on the total.
I have not bet that game yet.
Best bet. We need your Lions take. I mean, come on, we got to go back to the form.
Listen. Joey K was on some line. Shocker, bet the Lions early. A group did give it out though and moved it to 4.5. To be honest, flat 4. You could still get me on some Lions at 4.
Over took money yesterday too, in that one. I agree. Detroit's. I got greedy. I was sitting at 3.5. I'm like, is a 3 gonna pop? Never did. It's late to the party. I'll give you one that if it pops, I'll go anti-Hitman. Give me the Cowboys. I don't like Deshaun Watson.
About them Cowboys.
Nope. You don't want anything with the Cowboys, even at 3?
I mean, I would be with you at 3. I don't think you'll see a 3, but I agree with you at 3.
All right. I got nothing else. You got anything else?
No, that was good. That was new record-setting stream. Good energy.
You gave out a record-setting number of bets?
Yeah. I got a big portfolio for the weekend.
Yeah, we do. All right. Well, that'll do it for the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish, producer and landscaper extraordinaire, Zach Phillips. Thank you to all the questions, concerns in the chat and comments. We got 350 likes, over 660 viewers, new records here, not only for this show, but for the Hammer Network. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate our sponsor, FanDuel. We'll be back tomorrow, not Monday, tomorrow, halftime, Texas, Michigan. We'll give you thoughts on the second half. We'll give you FCS thoughts. We'll give you thoughts on the Saturday night card. So make sure you're tuning in at halftime, Texas, Michigan. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.